U.S. History students. Welcome to the U.S. History Part B quiz for entering the modern era Part 1. This is the first quiz that you will have in Part B of U.S. History. To find your quiz, what you're going to do is go to the left-hand blue navigation bar and you're going to find the Unit 1 tab. Click on the tab and it will extend so that you see all the items underneath Unit 1. You'll see the information that we've already covered in live sessions, the semester introduction, and the getting to know you or assignment goals. You're completing the getting to know you assignment if you are a new student to U.S. history. If you're a returning student and you've completed Part A, you're completing the goals assignment. After that assignment, the next item in the list is the lesson Entering the Modern Era, Part 1, and there's a quiz that goes with it that is right beneath it. And this is the quiz and the link that you're going to click on. When you click on Entering the Modern Era, Part 1, Quiz 1, you're going to see a screen pop up that will tell you to enter the quiz. Now you'll notice that the quiz is unlimited, meaning that you can go into the quiz again if you did not get the grade that you were looking for. The best thing to do is to make sure before you go into the quiz again is to make sure you click on your grade in the grade book to view what you got wrong. If you're not sure how to view what you got wrong, there is a how do I do that? Frequently asked questions link that you can click on here. Select the drop down menu and go to find out what I got wrong on a checkpoint quiz or test. When you select that and then click go, it will bring you to a video to show you how to figure out what you got wrong before you go back into your quiz. So the quiz is set to allow you to go back in, and it is also set not to have a time limit. Please just be aware that if you leave your quizzes or tests or any computer graded item open too long, your internet can conk out on you and you can lose your work if you're not saving your answers as you go. You're supposed to click the save button. Let's show you that as you enter in here. These are all the reminders. Make sure you click the save button often. If you lose your internet connection during the exam, sign in and try to access the exam again. When you're finished, click the Submit for Grading button. Okay, so these are the two buttons. Remember, don't click Submit for Grading when you mean to save. You have to save and then Submit for Grading. Okay, now your quiz for your first quiz for entering the modern era. This first quiz that you guys have is 7 questions long. In this recording, I'm going to read you the questions and the answer options so that you kind of have a guide as you go through it. Okay, each question is worth 2 points, and the quiz total is worth 14 points. Let's start off with our first question, which best describes the reason people chose to settle in the West in the late 1800s. Was it because there was an interest in the fauna and flora of the West, a desire to reduce the Native American population, a severe economic depression in the East, or the desire to start a new life and seek fortunes? Number 2, knowing that blank companies would encourage settlement in the West, the U.S. government awarded them huge amounts of land and money. Was that oil, railroad, timber, or ranching companies? Number 3, what modern invention ended the era of the cowboy and open range cattle ranching? Was that barbed wire, the cotton gin, the telegraph, or the railroad? Number 4, what Western industry got its start in the Northwest providing much needed material for the growing nation? Oil, textile, mining, or the timber industry? Number 5, which best describes what life was like for farmers on the plains? Very hard work, long days, crop failures, severe weather, and the possibility of losing the farm? Crop failures, 8-hour work days, moderately hard work, very few unexpected setbacks. The third option, many unexpected problems, fairly easy work, mostly successful harvests. Or the last one, bountiful harvests, pleasant weather year-round, very few setbacks, short work days. Remember, if one item in one of the answer options is incorrect, the entire answer option cannot be chosen because it's asking for the best description. Okay, so if any part of it is wrong, the entire answer option is wrong. Number 6, which best describes relations between Native Americans and the U.S. government between 1850 and 1880? There was little conflict. Most American Indians were content to live protected on reservations in the West. The second option, there was some conflict as a few Indian peoples resisted forced relocation to reservations and fought with U.S. troops. The third option, there was conflict. Most Native Americans refused to give up their way of life and successfully resisted being forced onto reservations. Or the last option, there was continual violent conflict as the U.S. government forced American Indians onto reservations. Number 7, and your last question, a change in policy towards American Indian nations occurred around 1880 when the government decided to exterminate the remaining Native Americans in the West. The government tried to assimilate Indians through education and the Dawes Act. The U.S. Army began to routinely round up Native Americans and execute them. Or your last option, the Congress passed legislation forcing Native Americans to adopt mainstream white culture. This is your last question on the quiz. Make sure that you've saved your answers as you go or as you went. If you did not, make sure you save them now and then click submit for grading. Always make sure to check your grade book when you've completed a quiz and that it is showing up correctly. If there's a problem, K-mail your instructor right away and check to see what is wrong. Good luck on your quiz.